Well, basically a position description helps a new employee to understand their roles and expectations. A company generally has expectations they wish an employee to perform. And so the job descriptions clearly outlines the duties and tasks so that an employee knows what is expected of them. And it also ensures that the managers do not expect too much from the employee. If an employee knows what their roles are, then the management has no right to try and get them to perform duties that are outside their job outline. So it ensures a safe employment opportunity as well. The training of staff can be internal or external, depending on what they need to be trained on and who is being trained. If management are needing to be trained, then they might not need something like an external schoolroom. They might only need a meeting. Whereas if staff are required for training, they might need a schoolroom environment to ensure that the training is successful. A training session may provide slides, videos, or other media, and it definitely can provide handbooks as well to ensure that information can be filtered easily and understood. But training doesn't have to include videos or slides. It can also just involve person-to-person contact. So contact within management can be included as just in a meeting, so that all managers can converse about the ways to perform a certain task. And the training can include a meeting which is outlined by the management themselves. And this can be written on paper and given to all staff who attend so that they can fully understand why they are there and what they are to discuss. So those are the two ways that you can handle meetings or new learning. It should be in a supportive environment, a quiet and tranquil environment, so that there are no distractions, and it should be set in relevant time frame, which is applicable for all those who need to attend. So it's always good to organize the meeting so to ensure that all required can attend, and if any can't attend, follow-up meetings or training sessions may need to be provided so that all staff can be trained. Within any business environment, a policies and procedures manual should be updated and kept updated to ensure that everyone knows their policies and procedures. But also there should be company procedures to allow all employees to follow the same to perform the same in whatever they're doing. So if there's a set procedure required for something like induction or training, then they should be providing a checklist to ensure that they complete the tasks to company standards. So there should be a firm policies and procedures description. So for induction, there should be a firm policies and procedures, a set loads of procedures that the company requires a person to perform while they're going through the phase of induction. So an employee needs to find this information, even have a chat with the management to find the information and follow the set procedures after providing a checklist. But if you're going to train new staff so that they can all understand the procedures and do the same things when they are to perform the same task or activity, then this can be done internally or externally depending on how many people need to attend and the staff's experience. So obviously if they're are just a staff, they might need a schoolroom environment. If they're management, they might just need a meeting room within the organisation. It really depends on what needs to be taught. Often, if you're using slides or videos, you need a proper meeting room rather than just one meeting in a quiet room within the business. So meeting rooms are often in tranquil environments that are provided by the company, whether it's internally or externally. Often externally requires a trainer. Internally might only involve management and the teaching through the highest rank manager. So obviously you need to inform all staff who are required to perform of the policies and procedures, and you need to provide them with written information, or provide them with information on where they can collect the information when they come to do the certain task or duty. And you need to also ensure that each understand the importance of a checklist, the importance of following procedures, and ensure that they do a correct job every time to company standards. So they're not just doing the job, they're doing it to company standards to ensure that the company processes are followed and done in sync every time. You don't want everyone making up their own ways to doing a certain procedure. You need them following the set company procedures whenever they need to do a task or duty. A position descriptor is important so that a new employee knows what is expected of them, and so management also knows what to expect of the employee. You don't want unfair employment where managers are expecting too much of their new employee, and you don't want the new employee misunderstanding their roles and expectations, doing too much, or thinking that they need to do things which they don't actually need to do. So a position description helps the company to provide employee with relevant information about their role and what they're expected to perform. It gives a clear outline of the position and gives adequate information. In regards to training, it can be done internally or externally. Often a proper meeting room is required if the use of video or slides are going to be used. And of course a trainer needs to be hired to attend. A proper external meeting room is usually required for those who need the facilities of an external meeting room, and also to provide an adequate environment so that they can learn about policies and procedures. Internally, if it requires management review of set procedures and so that management can perform tasks adequately in accordance with company standards, then an internal meeting may be set up, and this might involve just ensuring a meeting room is kept clear so that management can meet and discuss openly the policies that they need to improve on or which they need to perform. It is important that all staff, whether it's management or general staff, perform to company standard, set standard policies. This is because it's really important that they do things in sync with the company standard. They can't be making up their own rules and doing things their way. They need to know the importance of a checklist and to use it so that they can perform their tasks adequately in accordance with company policy. You don't want staff doing their own thing, because this leads to inconsistencies within the company. You want them following those procedures. You want them knowing where they can find the information so that they can do their tasks in sync with company policy. There should be a policies manuals book. There should be templates, a policies information on the database, hard copies of it that they might be able to get a copy of or access to, so that they can perform their tasks to company requirement. This will ensure that all staff perform to standard, so they perform in the same way every time, and in accordance with company policy to meet companies' expectations.